Deja vu all over again. Ha ha ha. It's TJ. Read the card, and I'll come back in a second. TJ McCormick from an in. No, wait a second. How's this go? From an undisclosed location in a nondescript building. As you know, it is time for Sing the Word, and yes, you are here with TG McCormick. We are redoing a song because, as my friend so graciously told me, it was too soft, and I don't want to be soft. I want to be loud. How's that? That probably sounds better, huh? Woo! All right. It's a redo of the song that we did on Tuesday, so I hope you enjoy it. Today you have proclaimed the Lord to be your God, and that you will walk in his ways, and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and that you will obey his voice. Also today the Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations. 1, 2, 3. Today you have proclaimed the Lord to be your God, and that you will walk in his ways, and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and that you will obey his voice. Also today the Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations, that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations. Okay, that was much better. At least I hope you could hear it. As you know, TJ McCormick, nondescript, undisclosed location on another day of Sing the Word. Now, I want to make sure you hear me because I'm going to talk loud. Once again, thanks to Calvary Chapel Kingman, Oren, Bible study teacher. He was going through Deuteronomy. There's some crazy stuff. Make sure you read it. God's law. It sounds weird sometimes, but it's the law. Don't speed. Don't cut through gas stations. Oops, I did that one. Almost got a ticket for that. And don't question God's law. You could be surprised. You could be, whoa, what was that all about? But, once again, questioning, not a good idea. Today you have proclaimed. Moses is standing in front of the children of Israel, and he is making this declaration, like I said in the pre-card. Wow. This is like, whoa. This is the moment. This is the exact moment that God declares, and that the children of Israel declared. Now, let's not worry about the future history of this whole thing. How do you like that? Future. It's like Back to the Future. No. It's the fact that after this day, stuff happened. Let's not get into that. But for now, let us see what this says. Today you have proclaimed the Lord to be your God, and that you will walk in his ways. That is the epitome of what we do if we believe in God. Okay? So if you declare the Lord to be your God, in other words, there were all these little gods floating around. These things just didn't have any power, and there was like nothing going on there. But if you declare the Lord, the Lord, the Jehovah, the Yahweh to be your God, and if you declare that you will walk in his ways, but wait, there's more, and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and that you will obey his voice. And last time, because you couldn't hear it, I'll just say it again. Statutes are like, those are the ones in stone, and the commandments, those are set in stone. Those are things that, here is the law. Now his judgments come afterwards, and like once, people are stupid and they do stuff, God's gonna judge according to his statutes and his commandments on the behavior of his people, and also on the behavior of those that don't call upon his name, the Gentiles as they were once known. If you don't follow these things, there could be trouble. But if you do keep them, blessing, blessing, blessing. Now, here's the other one, that you will obey his voice. So this is an idea that you're not only going to follow the laws, but God is going to speak to you. He might speak through prophets. He might speak through the pastors. The Bible, there's so many ways God speaks to us. In a small, still voice, in the gentle breeze. So many things that God can do for us to speak to us. So as we go, we have statutes, commandments. We know those are set in stone. His judgments are based on what is happening. And then we obey his voice. Just remember to listen for that voice. But then also try because trust me, all the voices in my head talk to me, and they're like, we'll do this, we'll do that. No, that's not God's voice. God's voice comes to us in a way that we recognize it. We recognize our shepherd's voice if we're close to him, if we walk with him. So now, God is going to proclaim something. Listen up. You don't want to miss this. This is like the episode that cinches the whole series. This is the thing that God will send us, give us, promise us. Here it comes. Also today the Lord has proclaimed you. He's proclaimed us to be his special people, just as he promised us. Now, hear me out, okay? This was a moment in time. This was God speaking to Israelites, the Jewish nation. He was speaking to a particular people, but again, it wasn't God's actual voice. It was Moses telling everybody, okay, Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised. And that's the beauty of this section, is that this was a promise that God made, and now he's declaring it done, finished. You are my special people. Done. That's it. This is happening today. He promised this to happen, and now it's happening. This is a fulfillment of a prophecy, and that's just a fancy word for God says something's going to happen, and when it's fulfilled, it's just like, okay, the something that's going to happen happened. Okay, don't get all hung up on theological terms and stuff like that. God said it was going to happen, and now in their midst it's happening. That you should keep all his okay. All right, people. All right, special people. You are special people, but you got some work to do. Just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, not just some, not just a few, all his commandments. And that he, okay, before I read this, take a breath. So we're special people, we're doing what he's saying, and now comes the good part. He will set you high above all nations. Blessings, prosperity, favor, it's coming down the pipe. It is setting us high above all nations. And what is happening right now is that nations are trying to kind of knock us off. Not too happy about people following God. They don't like the Israelites. They don't like Christians. It's so apparent. Come on, people, open your eyes. People hate us who serve God. It's happening. Now, look, I'm not a prepper. I'm not the kind of guy who's going to say, well, geez, let's get these suckers. That's not me. I'm the kind of guy who says God's gonna put us back up. It's like when you have a rotten kid and a good kid. The rotten kid does flunk, knocks all the toys down, the dominoes, whatever. God sets us back. Flunk, God sets us back. Flunk, God doesn't get tired of picking up the after flunk. Flunk. Whoops, there we go. We're back up. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the redo of Deuteronomy 26, verses 17 through a little bit of 19. That's what the A stands for. And this is not NASB, but it is New King James. And I barely have enough time to go through one more time. Today you have proclaimed the Lord to be your God, and that you will walk in his ways, and keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and that you will obey his voice. Also today the Lord has proclaimed you to be his special people, just as he promised you that you should keep all his commandments, and that he will set you high above all nations. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching, admonishing one another with psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, singing, trying to sing for some of us, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. Sing the word, redone, put it in the books. This is the way it should sound. So hopefully it was loud enough for you. And when I come back tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I don't have any new song yet. So when I see you tomorrow, it's going to be fresh. Love you guys. Love my 5 favorite fans. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.